Every once in a while. Yeah.
Okay then. Sean, Katie, Sean. Katie, what happened in the entire season of House of the Dragon Season 1 and in the book Fire and Blood?
This is getting old, this show.
It's not. I've only done it 3 times. Right. That you don't have to do that.
Yeah, I know.
So, Season 2. June. Going to be a hectic month.
The month of June, yeah.
Because everything is happening now. We've got series that we need to catch up on. We've got, but then there's about 1 million series all coming out at the same time. Mm-hmm. One of them is House of the Dragon. Is this the one that you're the most excited about?
Probably. I was really excited for Bridgerton.
Mm.
We're in the process of watching that though, so but this was like the next, probably par. Bridgerton, House of the Dragon. Yeah, were you most excited for this? Or?
I'm just excited for all of it. I'm excited for House of the Dragon, Bridgerton, The Boys, The Acolyte.
Oh yeah, The Boys. God, there's so much coming out.
Everything. Everything is happening right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, we made predictions in our trailers, our trailer reactions.
That and just talking about what happened in the books and trying to figure out what the hell's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. So this is episode 1, I suppose. Let's see who dies.
No.
Let's watch.
Oh no, I just remembered.
Yep, playing now.
Just remembered everything ever that could possibly happen.
Yeah, everyone dies.
Good for Matt Smith though, he was awesome in the first season. And he'll probably be awesome in this as well.
I think everyone was awesome in the last season.
It's just now we've got like
the groundwork.
The cast. We've got the cast. Before there was a lot of jumping ahead and, you know, getting used to the next actors and stuff, but now we have the official cast, so we just remember all the bloody names and the dragons.
This tapestry doesn't
give anything away.
Yeah, no, it does.
Well, yeah, well.
It doesn't bode well.
Oh.
That was Maegor.
Dead on the Iron Throne.
Dead on the Iron Throne, yeah.
Well, that's the theory, isn't it? Is the Iron Throne rejects people?
Kills people. There's also the thing that one of his Black Widows killed him. Executive producer George R. Martin. Finish Winds of Winter! Is that new?
It didn't look like that in the first season, though.
It didn't look like that at all.
I don't hate it, though.
No, I liked it.
I wonder if it's going to be different tapestry every time.
Well, that just looked like all of the Targaryens up to this point. There was the Conqueror, then there was Maegor.
Shh.
What?
Listen to the music.
What about it? What?
It's the Stark music, Sean. Because you tell from the very I could tell from the very first few notes. God, ridiculous.
Duty is sacrifice.
Oh.
One older than any oath.
What's he called again?
Since the days of
Cregan.
the first men, we
Cregan or
stood
Torrhen?
as guardians against
Torrhen
the
was his
cold
dad.
and the dark. Through its long tradition, was to be chosen to fortify the Watch.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
This is not a sentence.
So is Torrhen Stark?
Honor.
Because there's a Stark.
Embraced by all who serve the North.
Shh, this is a cool
Even
monologue.
by mine own kin. In winter will cover all you see, and all memories of warmth will be forgotten.
It's got ice.
It pleases me to think that over a century ago our ancestors treated in this very place.
It's okay. These two become very good friends. For as long as
Yeah.
Jacaerys is alive.
Spoiler alert, by the way. There's going to be a lot of spoilers.
Torrhen Stark would have sooner died than bent the knee. If men do not remember the oath sworn to King Viserys and to his rightful heir.
Starks do not forget their oaths, my prince. But
No,
you
they
must
do not.
know that my gaze is forever torn between north and south.
To the whole of the realm, my lord. We cannot wage it without the support of the North.
Oof. So he does send an army. Sends 2 armies. Sends the initial one, which is the Winter
My
Wolves.
father brought King Jaehaerys and Queen Alysanne to see the wall. Refused to cross it.
Yeah.
Do you think my ancestors built
They
a
wouldn't cross, would they?
700-foot wall of ice?
I think it was
to keep out
Alison's
snow and
Alison's
savages?
dragon.
I don't think Jacaerys went to the wall. Alysanne definitely did. Look, he's got ice on his back.
I have thousands of grey beards.
Yeah, the
We've
Winter
already
Wolves.
seen too many winters. They are well honed. They will fight hard.
Yeah, they will.
Northerners.
Yeah, they will.
Because there's a Stark.
Arrived.
There's a Stark.
News from Dragonstone.
It's a Stark that essentially rules after the dance is over.
Tim.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Cregan
dear.
Stark is
Awesome.
quite renowned as being one of the coolest Starks.
Yep, he's awesome.
I think he has just like an entire chapter in Fire and Blood just talking about how awesome he is.
Yep, because he basically kills everyone.
And he just fixes everything.
Doesn't fix everything, but
Well,
he stops the
can,
war
what he
essentially.
can.
I'm pretty sure he
Oh.
executes like.
Take your mount again. We're flying out.
I
That's better.
alone patrol over 100 miles of open sea, endlessly, to hold the blockade. Malus must gorge and rest.
I cannot face that hoary old bitch alone. With my dragon and yours together, we can kill Vagar and her rider. Make it a son for a son.
Was this the Queen's
The
command?
Queen remains absent. I
Did
should be
you?
in Harrenhal, bending knees, but I must instead remain here to wage her war.
A raven has told Rhaenyra that her son is dead. She needs to know it for certain.
She was a fool to go alone.
It does say in the book that
What if Aemon would happen upon her?
Then I would pity Aemon.
Daemon was truly happy with Laena.
The Queen was wise to accuse her son.
If you'd have acted when you had the chance, Aegon's line would be extinguished. And Luke would be alive.
I mean, it's hard to argue.
Yep.
It's hard to argue.
Would that you were the king.
Oh. Did you notice it showed you a very good shot of her brace on her dragon?
Shut up.
Because that's going to play. That's
Shut
going to be
up.
very important in future episodes. Not with her, with someone else that was also in that scene. I won't say who it was, but someone else in that scene. There's a very important thing with braces on the dragon. You know, the harness
We
thing.
get it, Sean. Okay, we get it.
Oh, poor Rhaenyra. Is there going to be anything of Luke left? There was just tattered bits of dragon
I think I know.
fallen from the sky.
I'm trying to hold off on spoilers because I don't want to spoil it before you watch it. But I think I know what.
I've read the book
I know.
2 or 3
But
times.
I know. I also know what happens.
Yeah,
but
you've got
still.
to. Yeah, you've got to remember this isn't word for word out of the book. There's going to be different things.
7 more ships put out to sea this morning to fortify the blockade. The gullet is fast, and we're not like to have the numbers to cover all that open water.
I must have my ship back at sea.
The
See
sea
what
snake.
reinforcements the shipwrights can muster.
That's the boat. The sea snake. The ship. Ship. Is it a ship or is it a boat?
The smithy delivered this earlier.
I had this commission for Prince Lucerys.
Oh.
I was very sorry to hear about your heir's death. It was the blackest of treacheries.
So he's going to need a new one.
Pardon, my lord.
Is this
Who
Adam?
is the? I was going to
Adam.
say.
Adam.
My duty.
Adam Valarian.
Whose son was Adam? Was it him or was it Vaemon's?
Well,
or does it ever really tell
no,
you?
it's the story is that it's Laenor's,
Right.
but obviously because Laenor's predisposition was more towards men, you know,
Okay.
the most common theory is that it's actually Corlys's.
Right.
But obviously it wouldn't do to find out that Corlys was cheating on his Targaryen wife.
So I thought maybe like Vaemon's or something.
It might change, but
Scorpions.
Stand down!
Oh, it's just him returning from
Vhagar doesn't even growl. She just like moans. She kind of goes.
She's like a 100-year-old
Listen to her.
dragon. Of course, she just groans.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
I'm afraid.
Don't be. They'd be fools to come with Vhagar protecting the city.
Not the dragons. The rats.
Thank you, Aegon.
Bless her little heart. Give that woman some protection.
She's a bit soft in the head, isn't she? That's the thing with.
Okay.
Is that? Oh, it's
No.
Kristen, isn't it?
Come off it.
Oh, it is.
There's a chill in the air.
That's a bit weird. That.
I mean, the grief that Rhaenyra got for that very thing with that very man.
I don't think that's ever meant. Ever put across in the book. Not that I can remember.
But no,
We cannot.
Feels like the show is very steered towards not liking the Greens.
some of the Greens.
Well, I mean, which Greens are we supposed to like?
I feel like it's not so much disliking as opposed to it's just feeling sorry for them. I like Helena,
Yeah, Helena's just...
but then I feel sorry for like the others that like.
What news?
Our letters to the Vale and to the north.
He's going to play a big
continue
part.
to go unanswered.
Cunts.
The Stormlands, the Riverlands.
My letters to Rhaenyra. Has there been any answer?
An apology for her dead son?
None, Your Grace. Between that and their blockade of the gullet, we must presume that the princess has refused the offered terms, and that war is now inevitable.
Perhaps Your Grace might lend his voice to our outreach.
Enough.
Your Grace.
A ride.
A pony ride. Wouldn't that be fun, Jaehaerys? Should the Master of Coin be your royal steed?
And he wonders why so many people turn on him.
Your Grace.
No time for amusements, Thailand.
Your Grace.
He's...
Off you
Him
go, Jaehaerys. Goodbye.
him and Cregan basically pull the realm back together after the dance.
Rhaenyra's blockade has
He's blind.
placed King's Landing under strain.
We could offer the title to the young Lord Dalton Greyjoy.
Oh, Greyjoy.
What is your business?
Yeah, he's going to be in trouble.
You do not have a seat at this council.
Aemond is my closest blood and our best sword. I welcome him.
Path to King's Landing is through the Riverlands. We must establish a toehold there. Harrenhal.
The River Lords will either declare for me, or they will meet Vhagar and Sunfire together.
Errors were made in the hours following King Viserys' death. You mustn't compound them.
Oh, you think?
You've already demonstrated your might, Your Grace. We must now favor patience and restraint.
I've chosen your new staff, personally.
Ooh.
So now she can't even trust her own staff. She's the Dowager Queen.
Well, the clubfoot is very, what do you call it? Good at playing both sides.
Your Grace?
I'm not scared to ruin this for everyone. She outlives everyone.
Pretty much, yeah.
Bloody everyone does Alicent. Like I said, there wouldn't be much of Luke left. I saw the size of Arax, it was tiny. Oh, that's his cloak, isn't it?
Is that what she's been doing for days? Just looking for some proof that he's actually dead.
Yeah, bless her. So that Storm's End?
Looks,
Aegon the Magnanimous.
well, makes sense if it would be, wouldn't it?
King of the Andals and the Roynars.
It's very close to Storm's End.
Lord of the Seven Kingdoms.
Bring the next.
Ratcatcher was just there, by the way,
Are you going to have him showing up?
in the background.
Oh, you.
Oh,
The Smiths are all proud to support your grace against Rhaenyra.
Hugh the Hammer.
Mm-hmm. The Smiths.
But iron costs have grown. If we could but have the crown's coin before we started work, it would bring great relief.
Oh my.
Not just to me, but to all the Smiths serving your cause.
Interesting.
You shall be paid.
You have my most sincere gratitude, your grace.
Oh, we just told him to go away, didn't he?
I'll hear the next petition.
I'm not he's got
absolutely
white.
is.
He's got white
Hugh
hair.
Hammer, he's a smith. It makes total sense. He doesn't get paid and he goes to Rhaenyra.
Your Grace,
had white
it filled
hair.
my heart to see you on the Iron Throne.
I'm now looking for rat
I was
catchers.
only a boy when Jaehaerys last graced the seat, but you brought forth memories of him, and he was such a deft touch with the small folk, just as your father did. It is the hand's want to keep a firm grip on things.
He's going to turn him against Otto.
You controlled your father the same way. Viserys had a certain reputation as being pliable.
I am aware.
I would think, as we find ourselves standing within a hair's breadth of war, that you would wish to be viewed differently.
He is just turning him against Otto.
He's probably hoping he'll make him hand, but he doesn't.
He does.
Larys?
Larys does become
I
a
thought he
hand.
makes Kristen.
Well, Kristen's his hand, Aemon's his hand at one point, and so was Larys. So was Otto. Otto comes back.
I requested an audience hours ago. Then be my ally.
I am.
An ally would not repeatedly cut my legs from beneath me at that table of men. I sit there and I feel your anger.
Frustration. These critical days since Viserys' passing haven't gone to plan.
That's not my fault. My sons both see you as the great example.
It's kind of all of your
The hand
fault.
to three kings. Aegon is ever eager to prove himself, and Aemond.
But you must accept that the path to victory now is one of violence.
Yeah.
I know it,
There's going to be some death.
but that does not mean it must be wanton.
There's already been a small child eaten by a dragon. Is violence not already wanton? Well, we know at least Aemond and Daemon both are desperate to go out and fight.
Yeah. Not Maelys, Rhaenys.
Seems a bit more cautious.
But more cautious, but she's still patrolling the gullet, so she's still, like, you know, ready for it. Goats.
Goats. Lady Massaria.
When last we met, there were two of you.
Yep, knew it.
The White Worm.
The White
Did you think I would wither in your absence? I possess nothing of value to you, Damon.
She's going to play quite a big part. She's essentially Larys to him and Rhaenyra.
Forgive me, my prince, but the lady speaks the truth. She was no agent of the Hightowers.
What is it to you?
A matter of honor.
Was it honor that made you stand by and watch as the Hightowers usurped the throne? You and your traitorous twin?
No, my prince.
Be careful.
I'm shamed by it. It's why I abandoned the King's Guard to defend the whole of the royal family. So what were we to do when they turn against one another?
Well said, Boyle. Well said. Who did he say there? Eric and him.
Eric.
So he's Eric.
Jeez.
Oh, that's going to get hard.
Imagine when they fight each other.
I know.
I'm even harder and
I don't know which one to shoot.
Please, for the love of God, change something in their armor slightly so we can tell them apart.
No, dear.
Oh, God.
Daemon seems really mad to me.
Daemon just... It's interesting because it's like, he genuinely seems really upset by Lucerys' death.
Whose skull was that? Balerion.
No, that's in King's Landing.
No. A son for a son.
It's not her that says that, though.
No, I know it's not her that
I
says it.
want Aemond Targaryen.
As they say, there's no crime more hated in the eyes of the gods than kinslaying. Oh, I wonder why it's panning on him.
I mean, she's essentially just giving them the go-ahead, isn't she? To just go murder.
But why did the shot linger on Damon, I wonder?
Why?
Your Grace.
Oh, go and give your mother a cuddle.
Lady Jane Arryn has pledged her support in exchange for a dragon to guard the Vale.
Oh.
Bless him.
He's promised 2,000 men.
The Winter Wolves. Oh. Is this the first episode? And we're just dealing with what happened in the last season?
Oh.
Good acting by him. Well done. Good for him. Oh, she lost her affianced as well. Oh no, her fiance.
Rhaena did, yeah.
That's they're the twins, aren't they? Baylor and Rhaena.
I don't know if they're twins, are they?
Well, don't get used to those two boys either. Lucerys.
Oh, they're burning all this stuff because they haven't got anything. I haven't got anything left of him to burn.
Come on. Lucerys. He's a Valarian, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Was.
Mm-hmm. Lucerys Valarian.
Good for you, Alison. Good for you.
Oh god, he's in his murderous cloak.
A tribute.
They're all still very much loyal to him.
Mm-hmm. It's funny how the High Towers just seem to forget that it was Daemon
that made the gold cloaks.
Made the gold cloaks who they were, yeah. Seems like the most obvious thing was to dismiss them, but...
How many of them is there? 5,000?
The White
2,000?
Worm said you're one of Aegon's rat catchers.
He's eating cheese.
I was also given to understand that you possess a unique knowledge of the Red Key.
Michael's tunnels. Where a rat's nest it is. I know them better than the shape of my own cock.
It's one half. You'll get the other when it's done.
Only one of them actually lives, doesn't they? One of them gets...
So he sent them after Aemond, not...
All right.
A son
We've
for a
wasted
son.
precious days in this war of quills and ravens.
Okay, that makes a bit... I was so confused when they just said
You
Aemond.
should be leading the van.
See,
And
in the
I
book.
should be flying cover on
That's not the
Vega.
case.
No castle would dare to raise Rhaenyra's banner against us. We would bring the whole of the Crown lands to heel. We could add their levies to our own. Our host growing as we advance.
It is a canny scheme.
But Moot.
The Kingmaker.
Hostage to my grandsire and mother. And they tell him that a war of dragons can yet be avoided.
Angry.
She blames me for starting this war.
What?
After she plotted with my father's council to usurp his throne. Her Grace speaks with two tongues.
It is not your mother's fault.
What?
Is that what happened?
She holds love for our enemy.
What?
That makes her a fool.
What the hell is he talking about?
Return to your post, Lord Commander. I must have a word with the Prince.
I mean, who else was at fault for the war starting?
I get what he's saying, though. He's saying at the end of the day, they usurp the throne.
Yeah.
It would concern me, grandson, if plans were being considered beyond the ears of your king and his hand.
See, Alison said that he views him as the sort of example. I don't think he does.
Vhagar, the greatest single power in the realm.
I think he views Daemon as the example.
If it wasn't obvious before, it certainly is now.
He seems like he's trying to be a good king. To give him some, you know.
Yeah.
He seemed like he was at least trying, but he just...
I told you this was going to be the first episode.
God, honestly, I might make
I did say.
feel sick.
Didn't I say on the first trailer? I said, guarantee you this will be the first episode. I said it.
I think we all knew it was just... I was just trying to...
Oh, don't get the dog involved. The dog doesn't want any part of it. He doesn't even like cheese.
Why do you need the dog?
Why are you bringing the dog? We don't want to leave the dog out of it. He just want to put. Look at his little tail.
Is the dog like a ploy? If anyone sees him, it's like he's a rat catcher. He has a dog to like catch the rats. He's holding traps. Is that what it is? Is it a ploy? No.
Yeah, maybe.
He's as loyal as a hound. I can set him and his dragon on my foes at will.
Keep your eyes down.
I need a style that
What's his nickname?
demonstrates power and commands respect.
Who's nickname?
No one
Aegon's.
Yeah, he's not Aegon the Unworthy.
Aegon the Generous, then. That would charm the small folk.
I like that.
Is them...
Show me.
Murder him now, please. Murder him now, please.
What was the point in that?
Okay, I need to know that that dog wasn't actually hurt in the process of making this.
What was the point in that? Hey! You wanted to watch this. I just watched a dog get kicked.
I didn't know that was going to happen.
The royals live on this level.
It's not going to be Aegon, is it? Because Aegon's on the throne. It's not going to be Aemond, because Aemon's out gallivanting on Vhagar and whatnot. There's only a handful of royals left.
That's why they just...
No one's here.
That's why they just were...
We need to keep looking.
I told ya, I'm not supposed to be up here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's interesting that they've gone down the route of them being sent after Aemond, but obviously he's told them, if you can't find Aemond, go for...
Anyone.
Just any... Well, probably Aegon's son, or probably, you know...
A son for a son.
Who the fuck is she?
She's the queen, she is.
A son for a son, he said.
Oh dear.
We need to get our head and get out.
Oh my god.
Not good.
The same. Was once a boy.
Might be that one.
But look for a cock.
That's no son.
Oh,
bless her,
bless her.
sweetheart. His hand's shaking.
Why has he gone so crazy? Oh no!
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. She has 3 children though?
Yeah. Oh, it's to the youngest. I'll probably still be with a wet nurse, won't it? Where do you go? To Aegon, maybe?
Find a Kingsguard, find literally anyone. Oh my god, that's Alicent?
What's happened?
I thought that was Aegon and some random lass.
They killed the boy.
What the hell just happened?
Oh, there's a lot to
Oh my
unpack there.
god, that was horrible. That was not how it was at all in the book. Because in the book, I know we can't trust the book because it's meant to be, you know, like not entirely accurate. But in the book, it's actually a lot more cruel because all 3 of her children are there, and they ask her to choose a son, which son is to die, because it's a son for a son, and she chooses the youngest, Maegor, not Maelaw or something. His name's something like that. And she chooses the youngest because she thinks he won't remember.
And she kills the oldest
But
one.
they kill the oldest, and then they kind of taunt the youngest as if to say, your mammy wanted you dead, and stuff, and that kind of like leads to her, kind of losing her bloody mind, and
because she does lose her mind, and then she kills herself.
But her daughter Jaehaera, who she has there, she kind of witnesses the whole thing, and that traumatizes her. She just doesn't speak ever. So that's very.
She dies as well. She kills herself as well.
Yeah, it's very different to how it happened in the book. I don't know that I would have wanted to have seen how it happened in the book. I also didn't like that at all, and it was horrible. The whole thing, because in the book as well, it's meant to just be like a clean, done and over.
No, they do take his head off.
They take his head off, but it's meant to just be over with.
It's a book.
They had a knife.
It's a book.
No, but they just take his head off in like one go, though. Is the point I'm making. That just was very like.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about them taking their head off in one go.
I'm sure it's just.
I don't think that's true.
I'm sure it's just a clean.
I don't think that's the case.
Either way, that was horrible.
Yeah, that was a rough episode.
When she went into the bedroom, I thought that was going to be Egon with some random woman, not Alicent and Kristen. Bloody hell.
That's definitely not mentioned in the book. It feels weird. It feels like it's come out of nowhere.
I remember in the first season, I might have mentioned it when we were watching it, the actress that played young Alicent in an interview or something said something about a part of Alicent's dislike of Rhaenyra was she was in love with Kristen. Alicent, they never alluded to it really at all, did they, in the first season? And so I kind of just thought, oh, well, where the hell's that come from?
It's weird. Yeah, it's a rough episode. I bloody knew it was going to be Blood and Cheese the first episode. I knew it was going to be the first episode.
Just very tense. The whole episode felt very tense. I felt like I couldn't talk most of it because I was just listening and watching and.
They probably tactically made that the first episode because it's probably the worst part of the Dance of the Dragons is Jaehaerys getting killed. Get that out of the way.
There's gonna be a lot of people.
There's a lot of unpleasant things that happen, but the murdering of a child is quite.
To be perfectly honest, I always thought, is it Maelaw? Because it's not Maegor, because Maegor was Maegor the Cruel. I'm sure it's Maelaw, her youngest son. I always thought his death was going to be a lot worse than Jaehaerys' death, because he just gets mortal. He just gets pulled apart in he's sent off somewhere, and he kind of just gets
one of the King's Guard takes him.
Yeah, and he kind of just gets like
torn to pieces.
Yeah, and like
you didn't know that the last time we watched the trailer reaction. We've been reading things.
I might have read a bit of the book.
What, just the Dance of the Dragons bit?
No.
Yeah, he gets torn apart.
Yeah. I knew something happened with him, but I wasn't entirely sure.
They pretty much all die. There's only.
Corlys, Alicent, and.
Well, no, Corlys dies. Corlys gets killed.
Does he?
Not in the dance, but he does die, obviously.
But yeah, I mean, so does Alicent.
Yeah, but Alicent.
She's kind of just imprisoned and dies. She's one of the last ones to die, definitely, but.
Larys dies. Larys gets his head cut off by Cregan Stark.
So does Otto.
And he also asks that he does not be buried with his foot. Weird request. I can't remember if Corlys gets killed.
No, he gets pardoned. I'm sure. I'm almost certain he gets pardoned.
I'm sure he gets sent away on the sea. Like when he dies.
He's old by that point anyway, though, isn't he? So it's.
No, I mean, like when he dies, he gets sent out on the sea.
I'm almost certain Corlys gets pardoned. Because it's after, again, spoiler alert if you're watching, there's been a lot of spoilers anyway, but after Aegon gets poisoned and dead, Cregan like gathers everyone who he suspects was involved, doesn't he? And I'm sure Corley's was
He just
part.
gathers everyone to do with the dance, with that killing. Just basically him and the Northmen just take over King's Landing. They march on Storm's End at one point. Because obviously...
What's it like, the Hour of the Wolf? Is
It's
it
called the Hour of the Wolf,
Yeah.
It's like Boros Baratheon broke his vow or something like that.
He basically just tries to fix everything, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He essentially
he
does.
Him and Tywin Lannister literally do fix almost all of the damage. Because Tywin Lannister quite cleverly splits the crown's finances into 3. So basically Rhaenyra can't get it. Even when she takes the throne, she can't get the money that the crown owns, which is why the whole city tends to, turns on her. But then when he comes back, he's blinded, he's tortured and blinded, and he comes across as the sort of the Palpatine-esque monster guy who's controlling everything because he wears a hood up, sometimes wears a mask, and he's he can't see anything, but he actually
does a lot of good.
He does a lot.
It's him and Cregan that organise Aegon and Jaehaera, isn't it? They're basically like, right, okay, let's just unify green and black and just get this over and done with. And
because Cregan leaves once he's
not needed, he just
once he's fixed everything, he just leaves.
Cregan's a really cool character. We didn't talk about him enough, I feel like, in the trailer, but Cregan's a really cool character.
He's also really young. Considering this war only goes on for like 2 years, he takes over King Landon when he's about 23.
It's something, I'm sure it's something like, because his whole like, he's like, his uncle, when his dad dies, he's too young to be Lord, so his uncle takes over. But his uncle doesn't give up lordship, does he? So he basically, at like 16? Something like that, really, really young, he basically just takes over. He has like a thing, he imprisons his uncle and his like sons, I can't remember how many sons he has, and takes control of the North, despite the fact of his young age, and then he's just cool and awesome. He's probably one of the coolest Starks.
Like I say, he's I mean, he looks young there. This war only goes on for about 2 years. So when Cregan comes and essentially takes King's Landing, he's only something like 23. The king is older than him. No, he's not. Aegon's not older than him. Tywin's older than him. There's a lot of people that are older than him.
Aegon must be around the same age as him.
Aegon...
This Aegon the
No,
second.
I'm on about Aegon the Younger.
Oh, Aegon the Younger's younger than him,
Yeah, no, I know, that's why I
Yeah.
said. Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool to see. I want to see the Winter Wolves. Or the old, or the young.
Yeah.
Just come screaming at you.
I want to say, I always say his name wrong. Daeron. I always say Daeron or Darion or whatever.
There is a
Daeron.
Darion. Or Darion.
I'm sure he's like the son of...
Daeron.
Daeron. He's king like after Aegon the Younger. He's a king. I'm thinking of the wrong one.
Oh, Aegon, the one that's Aegon the Younger is his brother. Is it?
Aegon the Younger is Rhaenyra's son, but he has 2 sons, and both of them become king after him for a very short period of time. One of them's one that starves himself. I'm sure one of them's Daeron. Anyway, yeah.
The young prince.
Yeah.
Because Aegon has his brother. Who's Aegon the Younger's brother? Viserys. Those 2 are kings first.
No, so Aegon, he's king.
Yeah, Aegon's king, then his son,
then his
other son,
and then
Viserys.
Viserys. I'm sure one of... I'm not entirely certain anyway, but...
I don't think it's those ones. Because isn't the one that starved himself to death, isn't that Baelor?
Baelor the Blessed.
He's the one that starves himself to death.
I'm sure that's one of his sons, isn't it? We'll have to... There's too many bloody names.
Right, hold on. Aegon the Younger. Aegon the Third. Daeron. Hold on.
That's what I'm thinking of.
He succeeded his uncle Aegon II at the conclusion of the... When he was a child, his dragon was Stormcloud. With the aid of his brother, Prince Viserys, whom he eventually named Hand of the King. Predecessor, heirs, Baelor Targaryen, Viserys Targaryen, Daeron Targaryen.
Oh, Daeron. Go back.
Daeron Targaryen, the young dragon. That's cool.
Where is it? Oh, yeah, Daeron. So
Yeah, but he ascended to the throne He's famous for invading Dawn. His heir is his own successor is Baelor the Blessed, who starves himself to death.
Yeah, and then Viserys is.
And then Viserys the second Targaryen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that's what I was right.
Were you?
No.
I'm sure.
No.
Yeah, the Targaryen family line is just insane.
Yeah, George Martin.
But yeah,
loves
what was I
making
saying? Yeah, so I want to see Daeron as in Alicent's other son, because he's in Old Town. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And we haven't seen or even heard anything of him.
Uh-huh.
So I hope he's actually in it. I hope they're not just going to completely dismiss this in character, because he does play a part.
Well, they all play a part. Joffrey plays a part. Foolish boy.
Bless his heart. But the interesting thing with Daeron, though, is that his death is like a big mystery. So even when Aegon the Third or Aegon the Younger becomes king, he has a lot of people coming to him pretending to be Daeron. So I want to see Daeron. I want to see more dragons as well. I know it's only the first episode. I'm not going to see lots of dragons anyway, but I want to see as many dragons as possible. There'll be a lot of dragons.
There'll be a lot of dragons dying as well. Are you ready for that?
No. It's so weird because it's like I want to watch House of the Dragon because it's a good show and it's so interesting, but at the same time I know what's going to happen. I know all the death and chaos and sadness, and it's just gonna The
point I was making earlier on is I think it's smart to put that episode first. I didn't understand why the dog got kicked. I'm not happy about that. But you put that episode first because normally
it's like ripping the plaster off, isn't it?
Yeah, but like when you look at Game of Thrones, the first 3 series or the first 4 series, the most horrific thing tended to happen at the end. But that was because that was what the whole series was building towards.
It was like the shock factor.
Yeah,
as well,
so it was Eddard getting killed, then it was the Battle of the Blackwater, then it was the Red Wedding, then it was
like, wasn't it like episode 9 was like the shock, the death or the big event, and then episode 10 was like setting up the next season.
Yeah, but despite all those horrible things, obviously Eddard and the Red Wedding especially are the 2 really horrible ones.
Yeah.
Also Oberyn getting his head squished is really sad as well.
Yeah.
But it was never kids.
I remember we talked about it in the trailer reaction, didn't we, where we were like, how much of it is it going to actually show you? Because the books, it's very like, the book's just, because it's a book, it can be as horrific as it wants to be. You know what I mean?
It's not overly horrific though.
I know, but it's still kids dying and stuff. But a show, it's like, there's a line I feel like a lot of networks and production companies and stuff don't want to cross, because it's like, you don't want to like, I feel like the audience wouldn't enjoy. Not that what am I talking about? The audience.
They must come to expect this type of thing.
I feel like the audience would kind of not want to watch anymore if it got to a certain point. Is what I was trying to get at.
Yeah. I'm still wondering if this is going to be 10 episodes.
I think it's only 8.
Goodness sake.
Because I think the strikes affected how much they could film, if I remember correctly. What's some of these? Huh? Out?
What?
Oh, no, not out. Well, how's it? No.
Short to 8, yeah.
I'm sure it's because they had to stop with all the strikes and stuff, didn't they? So I think that affected it.
So if it's 8 episodes, that's even crazier then. So are they planning on doing a 3rd season? And if
they will be,
so at what point during the Dance of the Dragons do you leave this season?
I mean, well, that's the thing, isn't it? I feel like there could potentially be 4 seasons, depending where they're planning on stopping. Because I feel like,
I don't know why they did a show called House of the Dragon and started it right in the bloody middle. Start at the beginning.
No, but they're already going to do Aegon the Conqueror. I'm sure they're in like pre-production of that or something.
They're doing a bunch of shows. Jon Snow's cancelled. They're doing one on Corlys Relatary, and they're doing supposedly they're doing Robert's Rebellion, and they're also doing the Conquest as well.
They're doing another one, aren't they?
Well, the Jon Snow one was cancelled.
The Duncan and
Duncan Egg
one.
Yeah,
Duncan Egg. Yeah.
The Hedge Knight.
But it just depends how they're going to stop. I feel like technically, when does the dance end though? End when Aegon the Third becomes king and marries Jaehaera.
Aegon marries Jaehaera, yeah.
So surely, but there's so much that happens after that though. You know, it's like it
But
just depends.
All I'm
going to
say is, if you're going to have a show called House of the Dragon, right? Forget about having 4 or 5 different projects. Just call it House of the Dragon. Then you don't have to worry about where to stop. Stop with Mad Kid. Just start at the beginning, and then you can have all these cool actors come in and play different kings and different crazy characters. Oh God! Why didn't they just hire me?
To be fair, that's what I thought they were going to do.
Yeah, like a show called House of the Dragon. Where does the House of the Dragon begin?
I think though, by doing this, it avoids the how long does it go on for? Because if they did that, they would have to do every single king. It would be go on. It would season after season after season. But at least with this, they have a start and an end.
Yeah, but unlike Game of Thrones, we actually know what happens. So whoever the writers / directors / whatever are, they have the material to go off.
And they probably will. They'll probably be planning on expanding on the whole Targaryen history. Might even go further. Who knows?
Yep. So that was us watching episode 1 of House of the Dragon. Let us know what you think. What was the worst part? Definitely the dog getting kicked. I didn't like that at all. I don't.
That must have just been a plot device to make us hate him even more.
Like, I don't. But he's about to kill a child. What more incentive do I need to not like him?
I don't know. Why else would the dog be there?
I don't understand what the point was of that particular. Like, he was angry. But of course he's angry. He's going to kill a royal.
I think. Yeah, I mean, it was obvious the dog was there as like a ploy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't.
Dogs attack rats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the only reason I can think of. Children, dogs, and old people tend to be the go-to plot device to make you hate a character.
Yeah.
If you're cruel or murder or do anything to any of those 3 categories, people will just automatically hate you because they're innocent, often can't defend themselves, and it's just an easy way to go. So that's the only reason I feel like that wasn't there.
So we also saw Hugh the Hammer, possibly Adam Velaryon.
Yeah. Maybe.
There might be one called Alan Velaryon, but I can't remember. But the one that's the big one is Adam Velaryon, but he dies. Pretty sure
he rides Sea Smoke, does he not? Yeah.
Rides Leonor's dragon. Yeah.
Sea Smoke.
He also dies, essentially proving that he's not a traitor. He gets imprisoned by Rhaenyra, which calls him a traitor. And he escapes. He flees. That's what gets Corlys arrested by Rhaenyra. Then he goes to
Hugh Hammer. Is he the rider of Vermithor?
Yeah, he's the one that
he goes after him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he goes to Tumbleton to fight.
Because I'm sure. Well, I think after you've just said that, I'm almost certain it's then that Vermithor dies, isn't it? When he manages to kill Vermithor, which is impressive.
Because I think it's Hugh the Hammer that goes absolutely crazy and starts saying that he should be the king because he rides
the King's Dragon.
The King's Dragon. The other one, I think, is called Ulf. I think it's called Ulf White.
I think it is.
Ulf White. He rides Good Queen Alysanne's dragon. What? I like Alysanne. I like Alysanne. I like. You know what I like? Jaehaerys and Alysanne.
I know you do. Yeah.
Because I like good kings and queens.
It's difficult to not like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They still have my favourite Kingsguard moment when the Baratheon and their mother come and try and separate them, and all the Kingsguard standing. They've got the swords, and it's a picture. And you know which Oris, is it Oris Baratheon? No, it's not Oris Baratheon.
No.
Boris Baratheon. No, Tormund Baratheon. It's a Baratheon, the one that marries their mother. You know, he's like, there's only 7 of you, and we can cut through you, and it's like, what? But the first person that'll die will be you. The hand, you know, because he's the hand of the king. Yeah, it's cool. Why didn't they just start from the beginning?
I don't know.
They could have done like 12 seasons just on Jaehaerys.
I don't know, Sean.
Do a full season of him just building the roads.
Do you know what it is? I really liked. I don't know if you could tell. I really liked the opening of the episode.
What, the tapestry?
No. Well, I like the tapestry as well, but I meant the Stark bit. Just all of the Starkness.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked his monologue talking about it. I liked the fact that he talked about the fact that isn't it just Alisand's dragon that doesn't fly out?
I'm pretty sure it's only Alicent that goes to the north.
I think maybe Jaehaerys goes, but
I think Jaehaerys goes, but Alicent's the only one that goes to the wall.
She's the one that wants to ride out, but her
The dragon doesn't want to.
yeah.
What's her dragon called? Silverwing.
Yes.
Silverwing sounds like a small dragon name.
Yes. But yeah, I think it's Silverwing.
Something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, and it's like you're like, oh, you know, and he mentions it there, which is cool. I like
There's
that.
a statue over there as well. There's supposed to be a statue over there. They make a statue at one of the castles to honour good Queen Alysanne. I just like Alysanne, alright?
Yeah, but I like that though. I like the fact, yeah.
Do you not just think the world, because the world sort of, they liked early Game of Thrones and now they like House of the Dragon. Do you not think the world has just gotten Britain fever? Like everyone wants to be Northern British. Because they're essentially speaking with Northern accents, aren't they? Like Northern British accents.
Yeah.
I think everyone just wants to be like them. Because you know how in Britain, and when I say that, I don't mean everyone in the world. You know, everyone in Britain wants to pretend that they're Northern. But they're not. Like, people from Birmingham are somehow Northern.
Well, they're north of London. So
they're north of London, so they're Northern.
The line doesn't stop at London, guys.
But everyone wants to be Northern. Do you know why? It's because the further north in Britain you go, the better you are.
The colder you are.
The colder you are, but the better you are.
British you are.
Winter is coming. That's what we say in Sunderland. Anyway, that's enough. We've talked enough rubbish.
We could talk about Game of Thrones for too long.
Yep. Have I already done the outro? I didn't I? Did I do the outro?
I honestly can't.
I think we got distracted talking about good Queen Alysanne. Yeah, let us know what you think. Like the video, subscribe, ding the bell if I upload. We try and upload every day. Anything else you want to say?
I feel like I've given myself a headache by how tense I was. There's about a good portion of that where I was just like...
And that wasn't even tense. It's about to get really tense.
It was just tense because of Daemon and him having a go at everyone and blood and cheese.
Daemon is angry.
Yeah.
He's aggro.
He's like pretending he's not, but he's also just actually really sad that Lucerys is dead.
What do you think is going to be sadder, right? What do you think is going to be sadder? Jacaerys or Eric and Eric?
It depends. It depends on just Jacaerys or the dragon as well. That's very important.
Both.
That will be horrible. Because
Jacaerys' death isn't even that bad, actually. Not compared to Luke's or the majority of the other children's. He just gets shot.
Does he not get hooks? Do they not hook?
No, he gets shot.
Is it just shot? I thought it was hooks. And
His dragon gets...
like chuck hooks on the dragon.
Not so much a hook, it gets shot into it and then tied onto the ship, so it essentially tears a big thing down its wing.
Right, okay.
So Jacaerys comes falling off into the sea, lands on some sort of driftwood and then just gets shot.
Right, okay.
Where his body's consigned to the water.
I think that'll be sad because I do like Jacaerys. I think the I can't remember his name. The actor that plays him did really bloody great in this episode. That'll be sad.
Depends on which version of Eric and Eric they do, because in the thing there's two where they just kill each other. Like there's two versions of how the story goes. There's Mushrooms and there's the other one, the other guys, Orwells or whatever it's called. One is that they curse each other and call each other traitors and hack each other to death. The other one is that they say how much they love each other. And
I think if they do that one, that'll be worse because it makes sense. Because from the little bit of dialogue that he had, he seemed
a good man.
Yeah, like, well, he is though. But the point is, and the point I always like to think was that they both just had different perceptions of what their vows meant and what their oaths were. You know what I mean? One of them truly believed that Viserys did change his mind, the other one didn't, and it was just it wasn't a case of they hated each other, it was just a case of they both just believed different
I don't even
things.
necessarily think it was that. I think one just thought that, like you said there, that Viserys did change his mind, and I think the other one was he swore an oath to Rhaenyra, an oath that he won't break. So they're both...
I know, but a part of that is that Viserys didn't change his mind.
Yeah, but both of them are sort of breaking their vows, but also both of them aren't breaking their vows.
But that's I feel like that's good, and why they said that is no one told them how they were supposed to act when the House of the Dragon that they swore to protect broke and
collapsed. I can't remember which Kingsguard it is that has Which child is it that gets torn apart again?
Melo? The youngest of...
It's not Maker.
Is it Maker? I know it's an M. I know the M.
It's Alicent's other child, isn't it? Alicent's child?
No, it's Helena's other child.
Helena Targaryen. Helena Targaryen children. Maelor.
Oh, Maelor. Jaehaerys and Jaehaera. Why do they all have to sound the same?
Because they're ridiculous. Yeah, I can't remember if it's the Lord Commander, but I don't know why Kristen Cole gets made the Lord Commander. The other guy leaves. Another one that they nearly came to blows at the end of season 1.
I know who you're talking about, yeah. Does he not join Rhaenyra?
So Lyman Manderley. I don't think that's his name.
Westerling.
Westerling?
That rings a bell.
Maybe, that might be it. So the Dragon. Season 1. No, we're not recap. Season 1.
Just put Westerling.
Cast. Sir Harold Westerling, yeah.
I knew it was Westerling.
Right, let's Google Sir Harold Westerling.
Graham McTavish.
Sir Harold Westerling. Harold Westerling. It just says he resigns. Good for him. Yes, anyway, we're going to leave it there.
Yeah, because we literally can keep on talking about this for ages.
Yeah. Let us know what you think. Thank you for watching.
I need to know.